the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear from a Christian rock band that played for inmates at the Penobscot County Jail over the weekend. Plus, we'll hear about a barbecue hosted by the Central Maine Labor Council yesterday in Augusta, in which state employees demanded for improved workers' rights. And we'll catch a glimpse of the annual Maine Odd and Unusual show, also in Augusta, that was host to everything considered weird and wonderful. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for tuning in on this Labor Day. Let's see how the final day of the long weekend is looking forecast-wise. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get into things this morning. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect for some parts of our viewing area, though, including parts of Washington County, until around 9 a.m. this morning because visibility levels are reduced in many spots because of areas of dense fog that have developed this morning. Washington County down to a half mile or less, same with Bar Harbor, also under a dense fog advisory. Other spots, though, it's very hit and miss, so take it slow. Allow extra time this morning if you had to be out and about this morning. I know today is Labor Day, so many of you are off, so just keep this in mind as you do move forward today. Otherwise, though, the radar and skyline is looking pretty good out there. We do have some clouds moving in, along with some areas of dense fog. We'll have a lot of sunshine for us overall today, as most of these clouds will stay away from us until later on tonight, so the fog will burn off rather quickly. We'll have a lot of sunshine today and temperatures overall in the 80s. So moving forward, though, a lot of sunshine. Say the fog burns away. Maybe a few puffy cumulus clouds during the afternoon period. We'll have more clouds in some areas of dense fog later on tonight. The winds overall not too bad out of the west, roughly at around 5 miles per hour overall, maybe reaching up to 10 miles per hour at times as we head towards a Tuesday. But the wind will be behaving itself as we do move forward. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. We have a lot of sunshine on the way, maybe a few clouds in the afternoon, temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. An Old Town man is out on bail after police say he refused to submit to arrest and was found to be in possession of cocaine. Brewer police say early last week, officers were on patrol when a man they suspected had a suspended license was seen driving on State Street. An officer pursued the man into Bangor. That man was identified as 44-year-old Tory Kindred of Old Town. When it was confirmed that Kindred's license was in fact suspended, the officer attempted a traffic stop on Harlow Street in Bangor. Police say Kindred pulled the vehicle over, got out, and started walking away, allegedly refusing police orders to stop. Police say Kindred also discarded cocaine that was allegedly in his possession as he fled. The officer eventually took Kindred into custody, and police say approximately 14.5 grams of cocaine was seized during the incident. Kindred was charged with unlawful trafficking in scheduled drugs and was later released on bail. A Madison man is awaiting his first court appearance after being charged with murder. 61-year-old Roland Flood was arrested Thursday in connection with the death of a man in July. On July 8th, 57-year-old Mark Trabue was found dead inside his vehicle at a cemetery on East Houghton Street in Madison. The office of the chief medical examiner ruled his death a homicide. There's no official word on what authorities believed happened or why they think Flood is responsible for Trabue's death. State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says Flood had lived with Trabue and Anson shortly before he was killed. Flood was taken to the Somerset County Jail. He should be arraigned sometime this week. According to the Maine Service Employees Association, workers in the executive branch of Maine state government are entering their third month of working under expired contracts with the Mills administration. Yesterday, state workers rallied together in Augusta to show solidarity over their demands.
Around 100 state workers surrounded the State House this Labor Day weekend with a rolling rally in their efforts to close the state employee pay gap. The rally started with a barbecue at Mill Park organized by the Central Maine Labor Council and concluded with employees driving through Augusta honking their horns loud enough for those in the State House to hear.
And what we've been seeing really since 2009, when a study was first done, was that state workers were well behind by about 15%, and that has just continued on since then.
According to Staffieri, state workers in Maine are paid 15% less on average compared to what their public and private sector counterparts are receiving. He also says there's been a decline in state employees all across the state.
What we're seeing now is thousands of open jobs in the state that really need to be filled so that we can provide the services that are critical.
Many state employees have been anxiously awaiting negotiations for their contracts to conclude, and employees in the executive branch are currently entering their third month of working under expired contracts.
People are literally having to go take other work. It's, they hang on as long as they can through grueling hours, overnights, we're not machines, we're human beings.
Many emphasize that they love the work they do for the state of Maine.
I take my job seriously because every day that I go to work, I affect someone's life in a positive manner.
But many workers also say they deserve to be fairly compensated for their efforts.
Time to give us a contract for this cycle and close the gap so we can build strong for the people of the state of Maine.
In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Aroostook County Sheriff Sean Gillen is retiring, and on Friday, patrol deputies met at Sheriff Gillen's residence to see him off during his final sign-off with dispatch. You can see in your pictures on the screen, numerous members of the department showed up to pay respects and stand in solidarity with Sheriff Gillen as he signed off for the last time. Patrol vehicles lined his driveway as well. Sheriff Gillen started his journey in law enforcement in 1994 as a corrections officer in Aroostook County, and then progressed through the ranks of the sheriff's office as a transport deputy, patrol deputy, MDEA special agent, MDEA supervisory special agent, and then chief deputy before finally taking the helm as sheriff. In Dispatcher, Ken Spittle's tribute, which was part of Sheriff Gillen's final sign-off, Spittle said, quote, "Sean, you have reached the end, the finish line. You have completed a milestone to be cherished and remembered. Therefore, 200 for the final time, we show you out, at home, off duty, and forever in our hearts. We wish you no less than the absolute best on your next big endeavor. It's been an honor working with and for you throughout the years. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your dedicated service," end quote. Many living in downtown Bangor may be familiar with the sounds of live music echoing throughout the city, but it's not often that those sounds come from a correctional facility. Our David Ledford brings us an inside look at a concert with a message.
Inmates and staff at the Penobscot County Jail came together in harmony Saturday to listen to the Christian rock group Not By Works share their songs of faith. The band has been performing at jails and prisons across Maine and beyond for more than 20 years.
I started a long time ago when I was in my 30s. We've been going to almost every prison and jail in Maine and some out of state to show the inmates that there's hope.
Representatives of the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office say the concert is one way to bring faith-based opportunities to the inmates, in addition to their regular religious programs.
Inmates in our custody still have faith. They're individuals just like you and me. They still worship. This is a good chance for them to hear some good music. Music is a healer. Members of Calvary Chapel come in and provide our Bible study in our church services.
One band member says he enjoys volunteering his time because of his personal connection to the band's music.
I had a brother that died of cocaine heroin overdose a long time ago, and that kind of motivated me to do this kind of ministry. I see some of those people as sort of my brother sitting in the chair.
Some say they feel that both music and faith can help people to change.
I think it's important to share the message of hope, the message of good news, the gospel to these men and women. And I've seen many over the years, men and women both, be transformed. I know one gentleman, he was here a few years ago and now he's a pastor of a church.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 8:09. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about how the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is seeking volunteers for their annual Landowner Appreciation Day cleanup. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Beautiful day in store today. Not really even a fall day. It's still a continuation of summer that we're seeing. Mostly sunny, high of 86 degrees, dropping down about 64 tonight. And tomorrow, even warmer than today. Mostly sun, high of 88 degrees.
Moosehead Medicine, Greenville's favorite dispensary. Our knowledgeable staff will guide you on your journey to find the perfect remedy specifically for you. From pain relief to relaxation, Moosehead Medicine has what you need to improve your well-being. Stop by Moosehead Medicine today and discover the power of nature's healing.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the gray Tacoma.
Gray Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go. That Red RAV4.
Run a Red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Right now, you could save up to $1,900 with affordable 3.99% financing on a four-wheel drive Tacoma. And every Tacoma comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Moosehead Medicine, Greenville's favorite dispensary. Our knowledgeable staff will guide you on your journey to find the perfect remedy specifically for you. From pain relief to relaxation, Moosehead Medicine has what you need to improve your well-being. Stop by Moosehead Medicine today and discover the power of nature's healing.
Brickmasters, here we are again asking our builders to create something beautiful and then destroying it.
Thursday, September 28th, Lego Masters is back with a colossal new season.
And it's huge.
And all the drama you can handle.
Oh, get out of here.
We have a problem.
It's literally sink or swim.
Please float, please float, please float.
We got a minifig down.
Lego Masters season premiere, Thursday, September 28th on Fox.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is looking for volunteers for their annual Landowner Appreciation Day cleanup. On Sunday, September 17th, so not this weekend, probably next weekend, I believe, volunteers will join forces with the Maine Warden Service to clean up illegally dumped trash in order to show private landowners the respect they deserve, quote, for generously allowing public access to their land. According to the IFW, each year the crew has picked up more than 1 million pounds of trash from more than 100 sites, which includes around 2,000 or 1,000 to 2,000 tires. That's quite a few. To learn more or to submit your land as a potential cleanup site or sign up, head to mefishwildlife.com/outdoorpartners. In other news, an arson fire in Bangor this past week has left some asking questions about the city's vacant properties. During Thursday's fire, 2 people were safely escorted from the building by the Bangor Fire Department. The Bangor police, a member of the Bangor community who wishes to remain anonymous said they believed the building was one of the city's vacant properties and that the people inside were squatters. City officials were unable to confirm whether or not the building was vacant or if the people inside had a right to be there. But Bangor's Director of Code Enforcement, Jeff Wallace, says that the city is looking into it.
Still not sure yet whether there was an arrangement for them to be there or if it was a squatting situation. I'll be happy when there are 0 buildings on our vacant and placarded list. We are taking some active steps.
The Elm Street fire comes 2 years after a fire at a vacant property in Bangor left 3 people dead. There are currently 67 vacant properties in Bangor. That's down from about 208 in 2020. To address the remaining buildings, the City Council voted in May to raise Bangor's vacant property fee. To share concerns about a vacant property, contact Bangor's Code Enforcement Office. The family of a late Ellsworth firefighter held a silent auction on Saturday to help keep his memory alive. Our Callie Warren has the story.
Late Ellsworth Deputy Fire Chief Bobby Dorr passed in May of 2021, but his legacy lives on for all Hancock County firefighters, past, present, and future. The Bobby Dorr Memorial Scholarship awards $1,000 annually to students of firefighters and those pursuing fields related to the fire service. The scholarship is given to Hancock County High School seniors and students from Dorr's hometown of Steuben.
It's a little bittersweet because the reason we're doing it is because he's not here. But by doing it, this is an opportunity for all of us to come together to just spend time thinking about him and talking about him. You know, we hold him in our hearts, but he's not physically here. And days like today is an opportunity for us to bring him a little bit closer.
Dorr died of cancer after 12 years serving at the Ellsworth Fire Department. Shortly before his passing, he raised funds to purchase particulate flash hoods for all Hancock County firefighters. The hoods help reduce the amount of carcinogens those in the fire service come in contact with.
Everything you do in life can be fighting a fire. We all have fires to put out, and we all have brighter days. So that was the way he lived his life.
In Trenton, Callie Warren, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 8:16. After the break, we'll have much more. Don't go away.
I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event tag.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on road.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
These days you can buy a new mattress anywhere. However, getting the right mattress at the right price will keep you up at night. When you're ready for a new mattress, come to Dorsey's. We've delivered more mattresses to this area than any other retailer. With over 48 years of experience, the largest in-stock selection, plus our 30-night sleep guarantee, we've got the right mattress for you at a great price. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden. Sleep well, my friends.
Are plumbing problems giving you a headache? Look no further than Sprague's Plumbing Solutions. With more than 10 years' experience, Sprague's Plumbing Solutions has the knowledge to assist with your plumbing issues. Whether it's a service, remodel, new build, or commercial, we've got you covered. For reliable, professional plumbing services, call Sprague's Plumbing Solutions today for a free estimate. 951-1637. We're here to make your plumbing problems disappear.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event tag.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on road.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
For most Americans, Labor Day is a long weekend with a barbecue or a much-needed vacation. But the holiday has over 100 years of history honoring workers' contributions to America. Along the way, making big strides in higher pay and better working conditions. For some, it's a fight that still continues today. Fox News correspondent C.B. Cotton has the story.
Travelers passing through Dallas-Fort Worth Airport ahead of the Labor Day weekend were faced with a visible reminder of the reason for the holiday. American Airlines flight attendants authorized a strike just last week. The union says they haven't gotten a raise since before the pandemic.
We're all fighting corporate greed, record-setting revenues. Yet we are still here without a contract.
Labor Day became an official federal holiday in the late 19th century following a series of pivotal strikes by organized labor and workers' unions that brought key changes to how workers were treated.
A recognition of the kinds of rights that workers today generally enjoy, including the right to form unions and the right of those unions to provoke collective bargaining with their employers.
That fight for a better deal continues today across a wide range of industries as workers face a growing pay gap between themselves and industry leaders.
You can't make $21 billion in profits in half a year
and expect members to take a mediocre contract.
Participation in organized labor has been on the decline for decades. More than a third of private sector workers belonged to a union in the 1950s. Today, that number is only at about 6%. Still, union members believe their efforts make a difference. A strike by Hollywood writers and actors has put a stop to major film productions for months. Even some household names have joined the picket lines.
This is going to be for the future of the unions. This is a union country. We have to take care of our people.
With strikes ongoing or looming in multiple industries, the labor and Labor Day is once again in the national spotlight. CB Cotton, Fox News.
And on a similar note, many businesses and offices will be closed today for the holiday. Here's a look at what is and what's not in working order for Labor Day. Banks and post offices are of course closed, but ATMs and some services may be available, especially if you have online services. Government offices will be closed for the federal holiday. UPS stores will not be open. FedEx, though, operates on modified hours. Won't do pickup and delivery, though. But Target, Walmart, Starbucks, McDonald's, and many other chains and local businesses as well will continue business. All right, the time now is 8:21. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices. With locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Already a dense fog advisory is posted until 9 a.m. for parts of Washington County and this area right about in here, including Bar Harbor, because areas of dense fog has developed this morning, lowering visibilities to a half mile or less. And this is what that looks like in a few spots. So Caribou, we're down this morning. Parts of Washington County and Bar Harbor also down. It's very hit and miss otherwise, though. So some of you may be seeing fog, others not so much. So if you had to be out and about this morning, I know some of you are off for Labor Day. Others may still have to be out and about and work. So just keep this in mind as you do travel this morning. Otherwise, though, some clouds off toward the shoreline, though. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine will be the common idea for us today, which will help to burn that fog away. As we zoom things out, give you the bigger picture, though. The clouds we're seeing there, this is the leftovers of Idalia right there, though. Just some gusty winds within clouds. That's kind of about it there. We have another front right about in here as well. Those will start to track off towards the east, but for the most part, though, we'll stay dry until roughly Thursday before more showers and thunderstorms start to move in. Here's a closer look at the leftovers of Idalia. Not a whole lot going for it. Just some clouds right now, maybe some precipitation with it, and some gusty winds. We might see some active surf from this, but that'll be about it. The wave heights actually are not too bad right now close to us at around 3 to 5 foot wave heights, and then even lower further off towards the north where the buoys are kind of not located. Those anywhere north of that, though, it's definitely looking a little bit lower. But where you see that green and yellow right there, that is higher surf being indicated in those spots. So futurecast moving forward, though, areas of dense fog this morning will be giving way to a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Maybe a few passing clouds in a few spots as well. Later on tonight, though, maybe a few clouds again. Areas of dense fog also possible. Throughout the day Tuesday, the fog burns off, a lot of sunshine again. Maybe a few passing clouds in a few spots. We'll have a few more clouds again as we get towards Tuesday night and a parts of Wednesday morning. Average high temperature being 76 degrees, middle to upper 80s the next few days. Today all the way through Thursday, we fall back down to the upper 70s to lower 80s Friday and Saturday, and mid 70s again as we head towards Sunday. Let's talk about dew points real quick, though. Those will be up there for a bit in the 60s, possibly 70s at times, so it will feel rather humid as we do move forward for the next several days. So for today, middle 80s on this Labor Day, mostly sunny. We'll have south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, middle 60s, partly cloudy areas of dense fog again, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 80s, lots of sunshine, north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. Here we go. Lots of sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s. Chances for showers and thunderstorms moving Thursday, highs in the upper 80s. And we cool off into the lower 80s on Friday with a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
There are some things that go better together.
Burger and fries, soup and salad.
Like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you make smarter decisions.
Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
You should Angie that.
Angie, what?
Angie that. It means connecting with skilled professionals for all your home projects, from repairs to renovations, so you can get the most out of your home. Get started today at Angie.com.
Oversharing can be spiritual.
Name someone you had a romantic dream about.
My minister.
Praise the Lord, Pastor.
It can be loving.
You love to plant a big wet kiss on Steve Harvey's what?
Lips.
Your lips ain't big enough for these lips.
It can be wet.
Name someone who has touched your bare bottom.
The pool guy.
Overshare with Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. The next Republican presidential debate is just over 3 weeks away. The field has already narrowed a bit after last month's event in Wisconsin. And as Doug Lazuter reports from Washington, we already have an idea about who's going to make it to round 2.
The Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California looks serene enough. But toward the end of the month, it will be a battleground.
And I am the only non-neocon on this stage, but keep us out of war.
We saw last month in Milwaukee just how heated the GOP primary fight has gotten. And many of these same candidates are preparing for the next debate in California, having learned some important lessons.
I learned that the more you insult people, the more time you get.
Now, there may be some truth to that, and at the last debate, it was rising candidate Vivek Ramaswamy who took quite a bit of flack and gave it right back.
You have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
And you know what? I wish you well in your future career on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon. Yeah.
And a big question hangs in the air. Will former President Donald Trump take part? He sat out the last one, but he intends to keep his rivals and voters guessing.
Do you anticipate at some point jumping into the debates?
I might. I mean, it's possible. I like debating. I guess I won because of the debates. They've been very good to me. So I might. But at this moment, I'm leading by so much that it seems to be foolish to do it.
Now, this next debate will be on September 27th. The fundraising and polling requirements to get on the stage have tightened since the last debate, so there may be fewer participants, but already a handful of candidates have qualified. In Washington, Doug Lazuter, Fox News.
Several groups are trying to get former President Donald Trump off the ballot, saying he violated the Constitution and doesn't qualify. Maine is among the states looking into the idea. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution says that any American official who takes an oath to uphold the Constitution is disqualified from holding future office if they, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion, or had given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. Maine's Secretary of State says her offices are looking at whether each candidate qualifies, just like they do every major election.
Each state, chief election officials, myself included, and chief legal officials like our attorneys general have an obligation to look at those laws very carefully, look at the facts of specific candidacies, and make a fair, dispassionate determination.
New Hampshire's Secretary of State, a Republican, reportedly asked the state's attorney general to look into it earlier this week. Trump calls the move election interference, and a Florida judge recently ruled against the effort. Hollywood's labor pool is taking a hit amid ongoing strikes by actors and writers. The film, TV, and music sectors shed a combined 17,000 jobs in August, a reflection of strike activity, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. The Writers Guild of America began its strike in May, and SAG-AFTRA, which represents performers in Hollywood, followed with their own strike in mid-July. Since then, several major films and television shows have come to an abrupt stop. The labor dispute continues with no deal in sight. The fresh snapshot of the Hollywood labor market comes as other industries continue to see overall job growth. The U.S. economy added 187,000 jobs in August. There is a new tool for people who say they've seen unidentified flying objects to report the sightings to the government. The website is designed to collect those stories and share the government's investigations with the public. This comes as many in Congress are pushing for further disclosures after starting accusations from a former intelligence official about alien technology. Fox News Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has details from the Pentagon.
Under pressure from Congress, the Defense Department has finally launched a website to solicit videos and provide greater transparency about what it now calls UAPs, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, one-stop shopping for videos like this one. Wow, look at it fly! Shot by two Navy F-18 Super Hornet pilots in 2015 on a training mission over the Atlantic. The website for the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, has finally been made public to comply with the 2023 National Defense Authorization Act.
What you see today is what has been declassified to date. AARO is focused on the facts, taking in information, reviewing the facts, and then when possible, declassifying that information and making it available.
High traffic crashed the website last night. It's back up now, when this former Air Force intelligence officer presented himself as a whistleblower in July. The Pentagon pushed back on his suggestion they had evidence of aliens.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human.
Now, Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks is overseeing the Pentagon's UAP investigation team. She will hold weekly meetings to make sure that any unexplained phenomena are not adversaries with technology that could pose a national security threat to the United States. At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll check out a scene from Augusta over the weekend at the annual Maine Odd and Unusual Show. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the gray Tacoma.
Gray Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go. That red RAV4.
Run a red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
You could save up to $1,800 with 3.99 financing on an all-electric BZ4X. Plus, get $2,500 financing cash for total savings of up to $4,300.
Come in today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Come stop by Triple S Tax Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Happy Labor Day weekend from Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Monday, September 4th, 2023, and today is Labor Day, of course. If you've been tuned in throughout the show, I'm sure you've seen our coverage on the history and importance of this holiday. And we hope you've had a restful long weekend. If you've had to work, I feel ya. For our daily dose of history on this day in 476, kind of going farther back than we usually do. You know, this one's over 1,500 years ago, the world saw the collapse of the Western Roman Empire as the last Roman emperor was overthrown by a Germanic leader. On this day in 1609, hundreds and hundreds of years later, explorer Henry Hudson first arrived on what would soon be known to European colonizers as the island of Manhattan. In 1781, the city of Los Angeles in California was founded by 44 Spanish-speaking mestizos. And in 1888, George Eastman patented the first roll film camera and registered the brand name Kodak. And notably, since today is Labor Day, on this day in 1894 in New York City, over 12,000 tailors went on strike, protesting against the conditions in sweatshops. That's quite a few. For birthdays today, we have American singer-songwriter Beyonce Knowles Carter. She's 42 today. Actor Max Greenfield, known especially for his role as Schmidt in the Fox sitcom New Girl. I love that show. It doesn't get old for me. He's 44 today. And comedian and actor Damon Wayans is 63 today. I believe his son had a role in New Girl. Very cool. Kind of brief role, but still. He was kind of more so known for his roles in the 90s, though. Okay, moving right along here, there was quite a bit of fog this morning when I opened the window here at the Fox Bangor studio, but that cleared out right around 7 a.m., and it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. So let's check in with Devin Biggs to get that forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get into things this morning. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect for some parts of our viewing area, though, including parts of Washington County, until around 9 a.m. this morning, because visibility levels are reduced in many spots because of areas of dense fog that have developed this morning. Washington County down to a half mile or less. Same with Bar Harbor, also under a dense fog advisory. Other spots, though, it's very hit and miss, so take it slow. Allow extra time this morning if you had to be out and about this morning. I know today is Labor Day, so many of you are off, so just keep this in mind as you do move forward today. Otherwise, though, the radar and satellite is looking pretty good out there. We do have some clouds moving in, along with some areas of dense fog. We'll have a lot of sunshine for us overall today, as most of these clouds will stay away from us until later on tonight. So the fog will burn off rather quickly. We'll have a lot of sunshine today, and temperatures overall in the 80s. So moving forward, though, a lot of sunshine today. The fog burns away. Maybe a few puffy cumulus clouds during the afternoon period. We'll have more clouds in some areas of dense fog later on tonight. The winds overall not too bad out of the west, roughly at around 5 miles per hour overall, maybe reaching up to 10 miles per hour at times as we head towards a Tuesday. But the wind will be behaving itself as we do move forward. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period. We have a lot of sunshine on the way, maybe a few clouds in the afternoon, temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Well, Maine's Odd and Unusual show returned this weekend, where nearly 100 vendors shared unique offerings to those with a particular taste. According to organizers, the expo serves as a place for those with a creative spirit to share their work with the community and others who share similar passions for unique offerings of art. The expo was held at the Augusta Civic Center and featured vendors from all across the state.
It's just a collection of artisans and artists, odd and unusual things that normally wouldn't, see in a mainstream store, and people are using their unique talents to make some really cool things.
My favorite part is just connecting with everyone and getting to see their faces once they find something that they really love and connect with, and I know that it's something that's going to bring them healing and positivity in their life.
This is the third year the expo has been held, but the first time at the Augusta Civic Center. According to organizers, they plan to hold 2 expos next year, one on Memorial Day and Labor Day. So anyone who missed out this year will have plenty of opportunities to experience its unique offerings when the Odd and Unusual Expo returns. I was there on Saturday, and it did not disappoint. I'm definitely glad they changed venues, because even at the Augusta Civic Center, it was packed. Glad to see. Okay, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have our sports recap. We'll be right back.
Buying a home is a big family experience. It is our dream home. Credit union is more like a partner, whether it's your home or whether it's in business. They're local, they're small, they want to take care of their customers just as much as they can. Pretty good feeling to have your local credit union backing you up.
There are some things that go better
together. Hey, like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together can help you be better prepared for unexpected events for a brighter financial future. Thanks.
Ah, pretzel and mustard. Another great combo. Voya. Well planned, well invested, well protected.
In 18 years, Grant Gill will become an improv legend. That's why he's preparing for it now, with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
With the shared branching network, you can easily and conveniently do banking transactions at over 170 credit union branches in Maine and over 5,000 branches nationwide. There's one near you at maincreditunions.org.
Crap. Introducing Dan Harmon's Crapopolis.
It's not as bad as the name sounds, or that looked.
Special premiere September 24th after football on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some field hockey here. Up in Orono, the Black Bears' season is still young. They are still looking to be one of the top America East teams come conference play, though, and they are using a tough non-conference schedule to kind of figure themselves out to start. One of the top things the Black Bears had to figure out this season was in regards to the goalkeeper position. How in the world do you replace a talent like Mia Borley? Borley spent 5 years as a starter in Maine. She was key to their 2 regular season titles in a row. Right now, Maine is taking a goalie by committee approach, a page right out of Jim Montgomery's book. They're rolling with grad senior Mallory Dreyer and freshman Jade Temby, but they're switching each half, something they think plays to their advantage.
100% it's an advantage to us, especially with Mal and I having different experiences and different types of hockey. We come out and, yeah, they have to think they've got to switch on again because it's a new opponent, someone different.
It definitely does help. We both have unique styles, and it depends on the team that we're playing. You know, one might be more useful than the other, and I think it definitely, for a good thing for us, will kind of mess with their minds a little bit as they've got to adjust accordingly.
Head coach Josette Babineau says she will eventually make a decision, especially once conference play rolls around, for a starting goalie, but for now they are fine with the split. Aside from the goalies, there are several young players and newcomers making an impact for Maine this year, especially on the offensive end. Babineau says the talent from the youth on her squad is definitely fun to watch.
The young players have brought some excitement to our team, and I feel the same way as their coach. There's sometimes that, it's a little frantic because they don't have that experience, but their skill level is so high, and what they have the ability to do is fun to watch.
We had a young class coming in last year, and everything's starting to put pieces back together, so it's kind of like a puzzle coming together, and it's all our hard work as freshmen last year is starting to pay off, and we're ready for this season.
Certainly should be an exciting season as it progresses. Let's move on to some football now. We are just about a week away from the first Patriots game of the 2023 season finally, and I have been counting down those days until September 10th, really, since the Red Sox quit at the trade deadline. But any news, the Patriots are set up pretty well this year. Mac is in a real offensive system. The defense looks good. Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott are a great backfield pair, at least on paper, but one of the major question marks for the Pats heading into week 1. Who is going to be out there with the offensive line? Recently, New England trading for a lineman and picking up one off waivers, Tyrone Wheatley Jr. and Vidarian Rowe, respectfully. Earlier this week, here is Bill Belichick talking about the team's new additions on the line.
Acquired both young players. I think they have upside and want to work with them. So
put him out there and see how it goes. Lowe's had 2 years in the league and played every snap against Tennessee at left tackle, so some film on him. Wheatley played in preseason, so it's a combination of things. We had Wheatley in for a workout last year, I think it was. So.
Love the Bill Belichick shoulder shrug. Let's stay with some football now. Maine football taking to Miami Saturday evening for Game 1 of their season, and here are those results. The Black Bears dropping Game 1 to Florida International University. They fall to 0-1 now. The second straight year, Maine has gone on the road against an FBS school to start the year. They will look to rebound next week, still on the road at North Dakota State, before coming home on September 16th to host the Rhode Island Rams. Let's go to some high school sports now, and we will go for a soccer game here over to Cameron Stadium for some Class A boys action. Hamden Academy Broncos paying a visit to the Bangor Rams on Saturday at noon. First half, Rams up 1, looking for more. Jasper Sparks here. He's trying to lead his man into the box, but Logan LaFrance steps right up and shuts it down. Nice play from the keeper. A few minutes later, it's Bangor again. This time, Zach Shaw has some room down the sideline. He fires and gets this one to the back of the net. Rams take a 2-0 lead. Broncos now looking for some offense. Tristan Downer off the throw, and he fires, but a sliding save from the Rams keeper, Graham O'Neill, and he would be all over it all afternoon from point-blank range. Makes a stop here. In this one, he would keep his Rams in front. Bangor wins this one 7-5. All right, let's go to some other scores from around the area now. John Bapst over Herman in boys soccer, 3-0, but Herman getting the win in girls soccer, 6-4. Both of those games at the University of Maine. And then in field hockey, Belfast beating MCI 7-1, and Lawrence taking a victory over Morse 8-0 is that final. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
IPM Pest and Wildlife Services has more than 40 years of experience. We are your trusted pest control experts. We bring integrity, reputation, and effective solutions to every pest challenge. We provide bedbug, ant, flea, tick, and grub control, and we also catch larger rodents. Call today to prevent rodents and mice from invading your commercial property, home, or camp this fall. 400-7702. IPM Pest and Wildlife Services. No problems, only solutions.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Detail 207, and Joe's Market want to send you to see Pantera live in concert with special guest Lamb of God Thursday, September 7th at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Detail 207 in Orono. From cars and trucks to big rigs and motorcycles, we detail them all. And Joe's Market on Garland Street in Bangor with a large selection of groceries, beer, and wine. Win tickets to see Pantera September 7th on the Bangor waterfront.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Harley-Davidson recalls thousands of motorcycles. The Harley-Davidson Motorcycle Company is recalling more than 65,000 motorcycles over some models made from 2018 through this year. The callback is over a rear shock absorber fastener that may break, causing loss of tire pressure and control that could lead to a crash. Model owners are expected to be notified this week, and dealers will offer replacements free of charge. Many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, hurt in part by inflation, along with the rising costs of borrowing and housing. And it's not just low-income earners having a hard time making ends meet, but those across all income levels, according to research from Lending Club Bank. More than 60% of U.S. consumers now live paycheck to paycheck. The research shows those earning less than $50,000 annually live paycheck to paycheck, increased the most, rising from 74% in July 2022 to 78% in July of 2023. While those earning more than $100,000 annually and living paycheck to paycheck increased the least, just 1 percentage point in that same period, from 43% to 44%. Experts say Americans are adjusting their spending habits to keep up with economic pressures overall, but it's only allowing them to tread water and not get ahead financially. I definitely get it. All right, well, we keep hearing it and living it. It seems like no industry is being spared from worker shortage-related issues, but some key job sectors are experiencing significant worker shortages. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows 5 key areas especially need available workers. About 363,000 job openings existed for construction in July, with fewer workers than a year ago. And 550,000 jobs were open in manufacturing for July. Pilots are needed currently as well, along with high school bus drivers and teachers. A number of the nation's most populous cities are advancing the creation and usage of alternative response teams, featuring paramedics instead of police to address nonviolent mental health calls. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a look at what advocates say is driving the changes.
Efforts to tackle the nation's ongoing mental health crisis are seeing some dynamic shifts, with a growing number of communities across the country deploying paramedics and other healthcare professionals to nonviolent mental health calls instead of the police.
I get to meet them in a spot that empowers them for their voice to be heard.
According to research analyzed by the Associated Press, more than a dozen of the 20 most populous cities in America have or are creating these alternative response teams.
We're also seeing people who are struggling with homelessness as well as substance abuse.
And while they go by different names, from New York's Be Heard initiative to the STAR program in Denver and beyond, team members say their goal is to not only keep people having a mental health episode safe, but to get them to the best possible location to assist in their recovery.
What Health One can do, our co-responder program can do, is send people to homeless shelters, to clinics, to outpatient-based programs.
Advocates of these teams also say crew members have more time to spend addressing mental health calls than most police.
They are very proficient in de-escalating clients who are in behavioral or emotional crisis, and they have the time to spend. If that takes 2 hours, they can spend 2 hours. An engine or an aid car can't spend that time. They have to get back in service.
Meanwhile, critics argue some alternative programs need to boost funding to increase the number of calls they can respond to. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
All right, now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with one final look at our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orrin, no Maine. Already a dense fog advisory is posted until 9 a.m. for parts of Washington County in this area right about in here, including Bar Harbor, because areas of dense fog has developed this morning, lowering visibilities to a half mile or less. And this is what that looks like in a few spots. So Caribou, we're down this morning. Parts of Washington County and Bar Harbor also down. It's very hit and miss otherwise, though, so some of you may be seeing fog, others not so much. So if you had to be out and about this morning, I know some of you are off for Labor Day, others may still have to be out and about and work, so just keep this in mind as you do travel this morning. Otherwise, though, some clouds off toward the shoreline, though. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine will be the common idea for us today, which will help to burn that fog away. As we zoom things out and give you the bigger picture, though, the clouds we're seeing there, this is the leftovers of Idalia right there, though. Just some gusty winds within clouds. That's kind of about it there. We have another front right about in here as well. This will start to track off towards the east, but for the most part, though, we'll stay dry until roughly Thursday before more showers and thunderstorms start to move in. Here's a closer look at the leftovers of Idalia. Not a whole lot going for it. Just some clouds right now, maybe some precipitation with it, and some gusty winds. We might see some active surf from this, but that'll be about it. The wave heights actually are not too bad right now close to us at around 3 to 5 foot wave heights, and then even lower further off towards the north where where the buoys are kind of not located. Those anywhere north of that, though, it's definitely looking a little bit lower. But where you see that green and yellow right there, that is higher surf being indicated in those spots. So futurecast moving forward, though, areas of dense fog this morning will be giving way to a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Maybe a few passing clouds in a few spots as well. Later on tonight, though, maybe a few clouds again. Areas of dense fog also possible. Throughout the day Tuesday, the fog burns off, a lot of sunshine again. Maybe a few passing clouds in a few spots. We'll have a few more clouds again as we head towards Tuesday night and parts of Wednesday morning. Average high temperature being 76 degrees, middle to upper 80s the next few days. Today all the way through Thursday, we fall back down to the upper 70s to lower 80s Friday and Saturday, and mid 70s again as we head towards Sunday. Let's talk about dew points real quick, though. Those will be up there for a bit in the 60s, possibly 70s at times, so it will feel rather humid as we move forward for the next several days. So for today, middle 80s on this Labor Day, mostly sunny. We'll have south wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, middle 60s, partly cloudy areas of dense fog again, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 80s, lots of sunshine, north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast. Here we go. Lots of sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s. Chances for showers and thunderstorms moving Thursday, highs in the upper 80s. And we cool off into the lower 80s on Friday with a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms.
I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event tag.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
Who likes to drink good coffee? At Carabassa Coffee Company, we roast premium quality coffee beans from all over the world. Roasted to perfection in small batches, our coffee is always fresh. We offer a large selection, including our specialty blends, organics, single origins, decaf, and flavor. Whether you like light, medium, or dark roasts, we have coffee to suit every taste. We offer flat rate shipping for online orders, and we ship fast. Carabassa Coffee Company. Drink good coffee.
Are you fed up with high prices at the pump? Do monthly utility bills drain your wallet?
If you're nodding your head yes, Renewal by Andersen is your best solution. They custom build and install weather-tight replacement windows and back them with a generous, fully transferable limited warranty.
Call now to schedule your free design consultation. Plus, take advantage of this limited time offer with incredible savings and attractive financing.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by...
I'll go naked.
I bet you will. The fun in a game of words.
Flip-flop, cougar, Little Caesars.
Sounds like a Tuesday for me.
Is choosing wisely.
I hope they know what it is, because we gotta take it. Want to try to win this thing, so I'll take Noogie.
25 words or less.
Knuckle head rub.
Noogie, you won the game, guys.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event tag.
Now get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Well, it may not feel like it after the last few days, but whether we like it or not, fall is just around the corner. And what better way to celebrate than with some apple picking? Over in New Gloucester yesterday, Thompson's Orchards was the place to be. The warm weather didn't stop some folks from getting out to enjoy their autumn favorites. Mike Thompson owns the orchard. He says they've been open for a few weeks and expect business to ramp up in the coming weeks. He says they've got a good crop of apples this year, despite a late spring frost.
Since then, I did get some damage from it, but the weirdest thing is you would think the higher elevation wouldn't get the damage, and it was my highest orchard that actually had the most damage. But it's not terrible.
Thompson's is open every day from 9 to 6. They expect to have plenty of apples throughout their season. Those apples look ready to be picked. Very cool. Now I'm craving apple pie. Okay, well, if you've got a budding baseball star in the family, this story is for you. The Waterville Police Department is hoping to get the word out about a free baseball clinic for area young people. Oh my gosh, excuse me. You can tell it's almost the end of the show. It's called Badges for Baseball, and the clinic will be held at Purnell Wrigley Field in Waterville next Saturday. So here's your chance to plan ahead. It's for kids aged 8 through 13, and there are different time slots depending on the age of your baseball enthusiast. But both sessions will involve learning the fundamentals of the game, including pitching and catching. No experience is required to attend, and equipment will be available. Transportation to the clinic is also available upon request. For more information, you can contact Jason Longley via email at jlongley@waterville-me.gov. We will have that information on our website, which is foxbangor.com. So if you need a recap, go to foxbangor.com. All right, it looks like that's all we have time for the show today. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, if you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. You can stay tuned for 25 words or less. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great day.